hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Lions and Den podcast, Clausura 2025. Guys, we are here another season, ready to talk about everything Club Leon in English. And I mean, we have so much to talk about. So, anybody listening to us via YouTube, hello and welcome. As always, if you have anything to say or join the conversation, please let us know in the chat, and we'll definitely talk and share on the screen. So, Louis and Carlos, gentlemen, how are we feeling? New season, new year. Just a little rough.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate that we're using a new platform to get all this out to you because it feels like a new era. I mean, it feels like so long since we've done a show. Apologies to all of our loyal fans and loyal listeners. I know you're counting on us to provide you with excellent Club Leon content in English, and that's what we try to do. Um, so we're happy to be back with you, and this is a passion project for us. This is not something we're raking in the big bucks for. So just know that when we're doing this is because we love talking to you about Club Leon, and so that's what we're happy to be back doing. And this is going to take some getting used to this this new platform that we're on. It's all new and advanced, and I don't know what world I'm living in anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely looks like an upgrade to me.
Yeah,
Much
to me
nicer,
too.
much more sleeker, much more modern. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. Brand new season, new hopes. There's plenty of Leon talk to talk about. A lot of things happening this off season, especially in the past few weeks. Started off slow. We didn't really hear too much about the club making any moves in the first month or so, and I started to get worried. But over the last 2 or 3 weeks, man, it's been crazy. Can't wait to talk about it.
I think there was
Yeah,
part of me that kind of was like, "Oh no, like is this should I just already scrap this season because we haven't, you know, there was no talks about transfers or anything. Things were moving kind of slow in that aspect. I think obviously we have a big year up ahead, especially in the summer. So I was a bit nervous as well. And then all of a sudden, it's like we woke up in this dream and things started happening and people started talking about our team and whatnot. So there is lots to
well,
talk about.
I mean, for me, the biggest thing, it just goes to show you both how fickle being a Liga MX fan is. I mean, how quickly things can change, not just in season. Like I always say, you're always three jornadas in one direction from either climbing the table or plummeting down to the bottom of it. And the same goes for the off season. Things can happen really, really fast, and all of a sudden you're talking about obviously there's no tanking in the Liga MX because there's no draft. But the idea of just what are we even bothering to win for? And now are we a title contender? It feels like these extremes are something we live with on a day-to-day basis in Liga MX. Either you're in the basement or you're at the top of the mountain, and there's very little in between. And it's just amazing to me how quickly these things change. You know, people lambasting our directiva and our ownership for just not doing anything, for being the worst owners and the worst directiva on the face of the planet. And now they're like, okay, now we're all lining up. There's the memes about the line out the door to pedir perdón, Jesus Martinez and the directiva, and like now this is the best possible offseason we've ever had, and we've never been more excited about a Leon season and all this kind of stuff. And how much time passed between one end of the spectrum to the other? It just seems like it happened in a matter of days, if or less. And it sometimes it's really, really funny. Obviously, this is not a phenomenon that's unique to Liga MX or to Club Leon, but it's just funny how fickle and how fast things can change being a fan of this sport, of this team, and of this league.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
mean,
Go ahead,
what a
Carlos.
yeah. I was just gonna say, what an off season. I mean, first few weeks, first month, I should say, I was depressed. I remember messaging you guys like, guys, like I don't think we're gonna make any moves. Like it's starting to get pretty. I'm starting to get pretty worried like that we're not making any moves because there was no chatter, there was no rumors, no humo. And there's always humo in Liga MX, but there was
Yeah.
nothing for us. Like there was nothing, like no player mentioned, no names, no nothing. And then out of nowhere, we signed Emmanuel Rigoni, and we were like, who is this guy? Like we had to look him up to see who he was because
Yeah,
obviously
not a
he hadn't been
household
playing.
name for sure.
Yeah, yeah, he hadn't been playing for a couple of months. But I mean, he looks like a good signing. And then all the other guys started coming in. Now, obviously the Bomba, the Jaime Rodriguez, and then you have Echeverria coming in. I mean, it's been a crazy two or three past weeks, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I've never been more optimistic about the season. Last season I wasn't very optimistic. I mean, I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, of
Especially with the
course.
signings that we had. I mean, we had. I mean, we signed Napoli. We signed Guerra. We signed like these names. We don't really know who they are. We're kind of just betting on them. Now we're bringing in like real like players with like heavy names, and we're actually going out there and
With
spending
a
big
with a
money.
good trayectoria coming from big clubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I do remember, and I think I agree with you, Carlos. I think for us too, in particular, kind of having the season we had, and kind of understanding the reality of the team, and kind of seeing, well, as long as we see at least some brightness to this team in some way, then we could still hold on to a bit of faith in the next season. But I mean, let's go ahead and talk about James. Let's just do it. Push it out the window. I mean, I think whenever we
Pull the
saw him,
band-aid off.
just do it. Just do it. It was just, I think, seeing everything on X, and all the James, and just not even just the James on its own, which on its own, wow, but it's like the conversations of the James and Guardado as well. I was like, no, really? I was just like, pero sí, like, puede pasar, puede ser, like, are they gonna like lift us up to the stream, and then like someone's gonna pop the bubble, and then we all like, come down crumbling of decepción? But I mean, James vino a León, o sea,
He
firmó
did.
con León, o sea, tiene la 10 y ya se tomó las fotos con todas las playeras. That he looks really nice. The number 10 looks good on him. The colors look good on him. Like, guys, the next day I woke up and I still looked at the
Yeah,
picture. I was like, oh yeah, it did
well,
happen.
he looks legit. He looks legit happy to be there too. Like you can't. I mean, those smiles on
You
his
can't
face
hide
don't look
it.
fake. They don't look. Doesn't look fake. He legitimately looks. And of it, there's a lot of Colombian connection in this team. Some of our better players over the past few years have been Colombian players who have had trayectoria with the selección. So he probably knows some of them. I read somewhere that he and Steven Mendoza go back to the sub-20, the Colombia sub-20. They've known each other forever.
Really?
Obviously you have Guerra, you have Barreiro. We've had Tecillo. He's no longer here, but I mean, there's a lot of Colombian connection in this team. Some of our most high-profile signings have been Colombians. You got to wonder if that's part of the reason that I bet he's got to. When he was thinking about coming here, he probably spoke to all those guys. He must have reached out to them. I can't imagine he wouldn't, because we've just had so many, and you had to figure that factored into his decision. He made the decision. He's here, and he's training. I mean, he's already had what, 2 or 3 trainings. He
Yeah.
could very legitimately play on Saturday in our very first game of the season. I mean, play and start. We'll see, but this is getting real. I just want to quickly shout out my good friend. We've shouted him out before, but my good friend Paco Vela, for being the first one to report even the possibility that this could be something that could happen. He got in on the ground floor with this, and people were like, "Nah, there's no way that could
Yeah.
possibly. Nah, you're just vendiendo humo like always." But no, he did the legwork. He's the hardest working man in the journalism, the entorno of this team in terms of journalism. I don't think that's a stretch to say that. He works harder than anybody else, and he gets his exclusives. And he got maybe the biggest exclusive of the last, I don't know, decade at least, involving Club Leon. And he was the one who broke the news. And my brother Paco, I love you, man. If you're listening to this, I love you. Te quiero mucho, and you got us the scoop.
Yeah, man. Shouts to Paco Vela. Like a lot of people were like I don't know about this guy. Like there's only one guy out of all the reporters in Leon that's reporting this, and even he got a lot of slack from the Colombian media saying like
Yeah.
no vende humo and like this and that. But in
Oh,
there,
the
I mean,
Colombian
he
media
was.
reaction to all this—that's a podcast in and of itself. Yeah.
I love it. No, but I mean, kudos to him. He was out there on the ocean just by himself on a rock, just like with the microphone saying, "No, James is coming, guys. James is coming," and everybody's like, "No, he's not. No, he's not." And then he came, and everyone's like apologizing to Paco Vela, or at least they should be,
Yeah.
because he got it
Yeah.
right. He was on point.
It was pretty mad, and I think especially coming that on a Friday and going into the weekend, it was kind of like, just an up and down. Like, is this, is this going to happen? Is this not? And obviously, we saw what came out with the other club he was negotiating with. And after that, that's when it did seem a bit more real that, okay, well, he has his option. Obviously, the Club World Cup is very intriguing to him. And I kind of want to think, because obviously, I think there's many things I want to say, and I'm sure you guys will also have uh, kind of more to say this, but I feel like all the media are just coming down on us already, and like all fans of the other. It's like the guy hasn't even played. Like we haven't even got the chance to like break him in a couple of games. Like because he came to Leon, like why does that make you guys mad? You know what I mean? Oh, because he didn't go to an America or a Cruz Azul or whatever. Like I think that's what the vibe that I'm getting from some of like the comments I see and like the media kind of going down. And I understand, kind of, you know, James and how he's been with club versus international club. Okay.
Yeah.
But puede ser que, puede tener un nuevo aire en Mexico. And obviously, it's a different league. And maybe he wants to have some of that like spotlight on him in a different league, feel important, feel wanted, And I think, like what we said, I think he seems happy so far.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this multiple times. Like he's kind of he's an old school kind of player in a position that a lot of leagues aren't really taking much advantage. There are most leagues in the world are moving away from the
Hmm.
traditional number 10, whereas Liga MX is really embracing it. And I was thinking, like, they have all this, they have all these connections in Spain. They own, Oviedo. Why didn't they try to get him to go to Oviedo? Because he wouldn't be as good in Oviedo. Like, league, this is a place where he can thrive because Liga MX really still values his position. They can build around their best player if their best player is a number 10. A lot of leagues can't really do that anymore. They're trying to get a creation on the wings. They're trying to get it from multiple places, multiple positions. They don't really use the enganche, the creative enganche like that in the way that Liga MX still does. So I think this could potentially be a match made in heaven. Obviously, we have to see how it plays out. It's not going to be, the names on the back of the jerseys do not win titles. We know that as well as anyone. And when we've brought in big, quote unquote, big names before, it hasn't always worked out for us. So the name on the jersey is not going to win us anything. But I really do see a strong potential here for this to, if he's bought in, which all indications seeming the first few days we've seen him, in training and our connections that we all have, behind the scenes, it seems like he is happy to be here. He's bought in, and he's going to be a major contributor at a position that is in no way, shape, or form obsolete in Liga MX, like it kind of is becoming in other leagues. So I'm excited. These have to give him a few matches to see. He's never played in Liga MX before, and even the best players sometimes take a little while to really get going. So we'll see. But I mean, all the pieces are in place to for this to be a success, and props also to Jesus Martinez, who obviously was passionate about getting this over the line, and talking to whoever he needed to make this a possibility. And if America and Cruz Azul and Monterrey and Tigres didn't do their due diligence to to do that for whatever reason it might be, it's not a money issue for them, obviously, but maybe they just they never would have thought that he would have wanted to come to Liga MX in the first place. Well, their loss is our gain in this instance. Our owner, our directiva was willing to do what some of those clubs weren't. Who knows if they probably never even occurred to them. They just didn't think it was ever been a possibility. Our directiva and our ownership believed in it, and props to them, they made it happen.
I think I saw that America maybe a couple months ago were after him. But
Well,
hey, at the end of the day,
there was a thing with whatever tomorrow. He gave him the jersey at some kind of event.
oh, is
But I
that
don't.
where that came from?
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think anyone had ever formally approached him from Club America.
I think it's just jealousy at the end of the day,
It
Yeah,
is. I
from
mean, all
from other teams and fans.
dude, like all of the medios in Mexico, like they're all jealous. Every single one of them,
and
like
Colombia too.
Colombia too, especially Colombia. They're so mad that he chose Leon over Junior,
Yeah,
and ah, whatever. We
yeah.
let
He
him
chose
win.
he chose the Club World Cup over the Copa Sudamericana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts to everyone in the chat, man. We got Arturo back, my boy Arturo
Hello,
Ruiz,
Arturo.
Emerald Lion, Sauce Boy's back.
Always
Our
sauce
boy
boy.
Sauce Boy. What's up, man? And
Well,
Angel.
well, well.
Ángel preguntando. ¿Lo de Marcelo es humo?
Yes.
That would have
Yeah.
been so cool though.
They,
As a Real Madrid fan, I would have loved that.
but like, who would we have to take out?
I mean Edgar Guerra would have to be the sacrificado, no?
I think we did say
Yes,
that.
Yeah.
yes, the extranjero. But like in terms of
And I'll
positions,
say if for whatever reason it's not Umo and they do get him, Edgar Guerra would be the sacrificado.
yeah. But who do you sit?
I mean, I guess you sit. Well, either you sit Chava Reyes or you turn him into a winger.
Pero
I don't know.
Chavita, no, es que Chavita se lo ganó.
Chavita se lo ganó, eso sí.
Like
Yeah, I think that's part of the
he's
reason why. That's why it's Umo as much as anything. Because I mean, they got James. If they can get James, they can get Marcelo. But I mean, I think we don't really need. And we're pretty stacked at the outside backs. I would say.
yeah. Yeah, I
Now
mean,
my question is, why didn't we get a goalie? But that's a whole nother conversation.
well,
Yeah,
it was on the table. I mean, there, like the whole rumor behind Brian Cortez. Like, I guess they did have acercamientos, but
Mhm.
it just didn't happen. I guess I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if like they gave him like a deadline or if he rejected the offer. But there was an acercamiento according to our sources.
I was like, what other? I was just like thinking, like, what other possible attainable goalie could we have gotten
Well,
at
I
that
mean,
point?
right now Marchesín went to Boca for 2 million. Like, you're telling me that's not affordable for us?
True.
Wouldn't you guys like to have a Marchesín instead of a Poncho Blanco? Be
I don't know
honest.
about
We're.
Marchesín at this point. Marchesín's pretty old.
I don't like his attitude. That's a whole conversation. Wait, what
Yeah.
about Gaylord Navas? Where's he at nowadays?
Keylor
Navas for Colo
Navas.
Colo. Didn't he end up at Colo Colo?
I don't know.
Mm,
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm saying maybe. I think maybe he might go somewhere else.
Sauce
That's
Boy
really
saying goalkeeper should have been the number one priority, in my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, like, look, if we got the everything in front of the goalie good, but we just need the goalie to be on point. Like, no se le puede ir una. You can't make silly mistakes, especially in Club World Cup. Like,
Yeah. Well, the
Well,
problem is we haven't even seen our other goalie. We haven't
yeah,
even seen him play one game.
that's exactly what I
yeah,
was going to say. They keep saying no, no, we're not looking for a goalkeeper. We already have two great goalkeepers. Well, we've only seen one of them,
one of
Yeah.
them.
and
Yeah,
when he hasn't done well, he hasn't been pulled. I mean, when Cota was supposedly on the outs for a brief period with Larcamon or whatever, or with Holland, whoever it was, uh, they sat him and they played Poncho a few games, and since it wasn't any better, they went back to Cota. So if Poncho has some gaffes, if he has some alsos, I mean, if he costs us results like he did in Toluca last season, we win that game, we're in Liguilla. I'm going to go out on a limb here. If we hold on to win
Yeah.
that game in Toluca like we should have, which we lost because of a goalkeeping gaff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to. There's no two ways about it. We win that game, we probably make Liguilla. So, I mean, if that sort of thing happens again, I think my only hope is give Oscar Jimenez a shot. If you think we have two great goalkeepers and one isn't living up to it, try the other one out. He could be really good. I mean, he could be so hungry for his chance that he's really going to go out there and perform. We'll see.
I think it's a
But
must, Louis, at this point. Like, especially looking ahead of
yeah,
Club World Cup, like we have to see both of them to like then for him to make a decision. Like, okay, in Club World Cup, quiero empezar a dot dot dot.
yeah. I mean, I wish we still had the Copa MX so we could rotate them in and out, and see who's doing better.
Yeah.
But yeah, or if we were playing Conca Champions, even against like an early round competition or whatever, see what you got. But now we don't have that luxury. So if Poncho's not doing well, please put in Oscar Jimenez. It's just funny. At one point we thought Ryan Cortez was going to be our big signing of the offseason, and if we gotten him, we probably would have been happy with that for an offseason. How quickly things changed.
Wasn't Julio Gonzalez on the table?
Yeah, we were talking about that in the chat.
I would have snapped, like grabbed him.
I don't like his attitude, Kari. Talking about
No.
attitudes.
No, but maybe because him and Alcala both had attitudes with each other,
Yeah.
so maybe taking
Yeah.
one out of the equation and dropping
Yeah.
him in another team could be be different.
No, I just remember we went into Seoul and we beat Pumas' brains out once. So one of my favorite games. This was during the 12 victorias consecutivas, and this was before Talavera. So Julio Gonzalez was titular for Pumas then, and he just was like such a crybaby sore loser, and jumping into the pile in our goal celebrations and trying to pick fights with our players. I was just like, come on, bro, what are you doing? But
Was that the
having
game
said
where
that. Having said that, I would have taken him over Poncho.
was that the game where who scored? Vinicio Angulo at the end?
Yeah, Vinicio Angulo, that was the
Vinicio
goal.
Angulo.
Vinicio Angulo. We were playing a man down. Joel Campbell. No, it was either Campbell or Jota Macias got red carded in that game. So we were playing a man down, and we got out on a break, and Vinicio Angulo of all people scored the goal to put the game away. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I remember that game.
yeah, it was a 3-1 win. Goals by Mena, by
Didn't Campbell miss a penalty?
Campbell missed a penalty. Yeah, so it should have already been 3-1.
Mena.
Yeah. That was a great game. That was
Yeah, I think the first goal was like Tecillo to Chapito who placed it for Macias, right?
and I believe
was-
so. And they had to go to VAR.
Yeah,
Paco Chacon was reffing that match, and they had to go to VAR.
the legendary Chacon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at our registration. We're stacked with medios.
Angel in the chat saying Leon Troll Juniors too. The song they used for Jaime's arrival video goes "Me quedo en Barranquilla." Really?
Really?
I didn't really
They
listen
did.
to it. I didn't really
They
listen
did. They did use that song. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now let's talk about that video because I mean when Carlos sent in the chat and I'm like, manda el video because I need to see this. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Am I watching a Netflix series like a premiere, a
Dude.
little trailer?
Maybe
I mean,
the best
those
video made so far.
production values, ni Obama los tiene. Like we gotta we gotta tip our hats to shout out to Gabo El Pollo, to Philip, and to Sebas for putting all that together, and to El Horse, the other guy. Those dudes, the work they do to put out that type of content is unmatched
Yeah.
in Liga MX. And people can argue all they want about whether that's just circo. You don't need good videos, you need good play on the pitch. And yes, while that is true, I mean, it's an entertainment. This is entertainment, and those guys put out an entertaining product. They really show our brand, the brand of our club, in a great way. So shout out to those guys for making that video and all of the cameo appearances in it, and the supporting characters in it. Current
Look,
and former
I love
players.
the Barreiro one.
It was
I love the
awesome.
Barreiro
Yeah, Barrero's
one.
good.
Yeah,
Barrero's
Barreiro.
when he hangs up his spikes, he's got an acting career for sure.
Yeah, that was good. Who else came out?
Gadis came out.
Gadis, Descalzo.
Yeah.
Was he barefoot? I
Rigoni.
didn't see that.
Yeah, he was barefoot. Yeah.
Rigoni.
Rigoni.
And then good old Nacho Gonzalez.
Nacho. When I saw Nacho, I was like, "This is epic. This is legendary."
So surely, my assumption is that they recorded this the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Well,
they said
yeah,
it took a couple days, like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, and they recorded at the ex Plaza de Gallos in Centro of León. I've played performances there, so I recognized it right away.
But imagine having that many people participate in the video and it like nothing leaks, like all.
But maybe
you
they
see
didn't
everybody in the
know.
audience.
Maybe they were just like, all your role. This is for an announcement. Your role is to just stress, wear this and do
That's
this.
true, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true. But they used artificial intelligence, right? They used artificial intelligence on the face. And at first I didn't notice it. I was like, what? I was like, is that James? That doesn't look like him. But
Yeah.
then, you mentioned it in the chat, Cody, and I was like, yeah, it must have been.
yeah.
It
Era
must have been.
obvio, like the hair. I'm like, James has his like nice hair, está todo
Yeah.
como rapado. I was like,
Well,
no, they did not AI that.
Well, yeah. Well, I figured they weren't going to ask him. He gets right off the plane and he's like, can you put on a skirt and sandals and wield a sword because we're going to do this introduction video for you." Yeah, I didn't imagine they would have asked him to do that.
I really wonder though, like James looking at that, like what were his thoughts when he saw his announcement video? That would have been interesting just to see, like, oh, you know what? Like they really care about me. Like they really like me and want me here. Like le echaron muchas ganas.
Yeah, yeah. That video has like 3 million views right now, and I mean, it went around the world. Everyone watched it. It was on El Chiringuito. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so like, if you come out on El Chiringuito, man, you made it. You made it
you
as a
made it.
club.
you
You
made
made
you
it as
made
a
it to
club.
that side of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good video. Awesome video.
That was really good video. Talking about the other, so I'm looking at the roster. So obviously, junto con Alfonso Blanco, we have Oscar Jimenez and Oscar Garcia as the third goalie. Um, for defensa está Mauricio Isaías, Iván Moreno, Barreiro, Adonis Frias, Paul Belón, Luis Cervantes, and we also have Victor Barajas and Diego Luna, which I'm guessing is youngsters coming through. Then we also had Sebastián Fierro from Tigres. That was also una
Yeah,
incorporación.
that could actually turn out to be a really good signing. Somehow we became the club that everyone gives loans out their youth players to because they know we know. I don't know. I guess we have like a magic formula where like when they leave, they become like great players. I mean,
Mm.
Macias, Platano, like go down the list. There's a lot of players that we received on loan from other clubs that end up
Ivan Moreno.
leaving. Ivan Moreno, it's another one.
Iván Moreno.
So yeah, I have high
I
hopes
totally
for this
forgot
guy.
about Platanito leaving.
Platano.
Yeah,
Ah,
but
Ah,
yeah, this Fierro, we'll see. The thing about Tigres, that's a bad club to be a joven. They just barely squeaked their joven minutes over the line at the end of the season. They're not a club that plays a lot of jóvenes. They're always in win now mode, so they're not looking to do that. So this could be somebody who just doesn't mean they let him go not because he wasn't good, just because he wasn't going to get minutes realistically up there. So yeah, that is, as you say, Carlos, that is the formula for serviceable to very, very good players working out for our club.
yeah, and I
and
mean,
then
he's what? Like he's under 23, right?
he is. It's loading.
Early
He
20s.
is
He's
23. No, you're right.
23. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, what better as a player who's 23 years old? Like, what better position could you possibly be in? Being around James Rodriguez and
Mm,
Guardado, right? At the
yeah,
end of their careers, like imagine all of the knowledge and football IQ that you can soak up from them. That's a dream scenario.
it really is. I saw a lot of Chiva hermanos trolling Cisneros and oh, we got rid of Cisneros, but now Cisneros is with James. You know what I mean? I
I wasn't very happy with that signing. I mean, if there's
thought it
one
was really
signing,
random.
yeah, if there's one signing that I wasn't happy about, it was that one. Like, I don't know. I thought it was
Which one?
Cisneros.
Cisneros.
Oh,
I wasn't very happy about it.
He seems like a nice guy, but
Yeah,
como que
but
no
like,
me ha dado mucho en la liga viéndolo to be like, oh yeah, I want him on my team. He's 31 years old. I mean, not that
yeah,
I
exciting.
mean, and anyone who comes from the club that must not be named and wants to come over here and play better than they did there, I'm all for it.
yeah. I mean, if he has a segundo aire, I mean, I'm all for it too. He could
Yeah,
be a
yeah, I
nice
think we've
backup, a
always said
nice
on
role
the pod,
player.
right? We've always said like, siempre, we could be harsh, criticamos, and then if that happens, and we're like, oh, you know what, like, I want to apologize because
Yeah.
I went on to him a bit too hard.
Yeah. No, yeah. Here on the pod, we criticize. We're pretty harsh with them, but like, man, if you guys see some chats on Twitter,
Yeah, we're
people
not
go
like that.
hard. People go really hard. People get personal, and I'm like, I don't think
Yeah,
I
it's
want to say
not.
anything.
No, it's not
Yeah.
personal unless like to me it's like to me there's just some players que cuando hacen algo antideportivo or like they don't have that like sportsmanship. That to me is kind of like
Yeah.
I don't like. I really dislike, and like kind of reflects just a bit of how you are in your own life, and like how that's not okay, and like how there's kids and people watching you, and you do something you think it's okay, and it's not okay. You
Yeah. Facts.
know. Arturo said he's a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy. Like I'm sure he's nice, but obviously, like Louis would say, nice doesn't win anything on the field unless you have to show it on the field.
Yeah.
Um, so looking at okay, so Sebastian Fierro, Emiliano Rigoni, which he's coming off of what 6 months not playing in
Yeah.
Austin FC. So again,
And
could this
his
be his revancha?
his paso por Austin was not what it was expected to be either.
He was signed
He
as a bomba there, right?
I don't
They
know about a
said
bomba, but certainly is much more of a contributor than he ended up being.
Yeah. And he has obviously he has a European trayectoria.
Yeah.
so he has number 8. Then we have finally seeing James registered. So that's always nice to see.
Yeah.
Uh then we have Speedy Mendoza. So how many games did they ban him, and when can we expect to see him then?
4
My
games.
understanding he was banned 4 games. Guerra was banned either 1 or 2.
I think I
Four
heard
games,
it's
that
2.
including the Pachuca one as well? Like
Well,
cuenta
just the first 4
first
matches that
four?
the club plays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, because when would that be? So we have the Atlas game, then we have the Juarez game, the Chivas game, Mazatlan game.
So those he would miss those 4.
Yeah, because then we February 5th we play Pachuca, and then after that is
That's
Toluca.
actually
Okay.
quite a harsh suspension for someone who just kicked the ball. Like, there's players who do much worse that don't get 4 games.
Also, did they
Uh,
ever ban the guy? Because I have a problem with the fans doing stuff like that, because it's like I feel like they
Yeah.
punish the players, but it's like, well, the fans have tienen culpa también.
Yep.
I think they did. I think I saw something about them doing that, but I can't say for sure.
They should ban them too. Like the
They
same amount of
definitely should.
games should ban them. Oh, you know what? You can't come for 4 games either.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty brawl. I'm still annoyed about that because that was a meaningless game. That game, there was nothing to play for in that match
Yeah.
other than pride, and the pride is the one thing they 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 didn't show with that brawl.
Yeah.
So Speedy Mendoza, Edgar Guerra, who we spoke about, Guardado, Cisneros, Chava Reyes, Angel Estrada, which you guys said that he is injured at the moment.
Wait, who?
Tadeo,
Estrada,
Oh,
Tadeo Estrada.
Estrada. Yeah, I think he.
I think you guys had said something in the chat about him being
Yeah, I can't remember.
injured.
Somebody, Arturo or Sauceboy, can you guys remind me what happened to Tadeo Estrada? I think I can't remember. I think he sprained his ankle or something like that.
Oh, okay. Then we have Avion, who currently was playing the Mexico game against Internacional, Sebastián Santos, Uribe, Edson Ayon, Jesus Hernandez, and Cadiz. So obviously, we still could get that other forward, no? The one that was rumored yesterday.
oh,
If
Luca
they do,
Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that does happen. If anything, just to put a little pressure on Jonder, give him some competition up top. Because I mean, we're building out. I mean, I'd say. Well, I mean, I guess we can get into the question later if we think this is a good enough squad to compete for serious things and what our expectations are and everything. But I still want to see one more signing up top. I think that is the one spot. If we're not going to get a goalkeeper, then I think the one spot I would like to see a little more competition, a little more internal competition to get the best out of the squad is up top, centro delantero. I think sticking only with Jonder, especially because he's had injury issues and whatever. I mean, he might not even be available at all times. So I would like to see another signing made up top, but we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I think we need a forward, and I think if it's that forward that was rumored, then I think we should get it. He's young, and I think it would be another option. También.
Yeah, the injury by Tadeo Estrada is a fractured tibia. Very minor.
Oh, okay.
Very
A
minor.
hairline fracture, maybe.
Yeah, very minor, but I guess he's going to be out. I don't know how long, but he's going to be out at least the first game.
I think Southboy in the comments said he got injured like the first or second day he got here, ankle injury,
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. Um, yeah. I mean, if we could add someone to the squad, no estaría mal, especially in that position.
Yeah, for a while there was the rumor about Edu Vargas, right? I
Mm-hmm.
personally didn't like it. I personally didn't like it. I mean, there's a lot of fans that were saying like, yes, bring him. He has Liga Meki's experience. Like he knows what he's doing. He's pretty good. I don't know. Someone his age, I don't think so. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it either, and I think he's too old. I think it would be a waste of money to get someone that old, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So James is registered, but why isn't Fonseca registered?
Fonseca.
At least not yet on the Liga MX website.
Yeah, he's not on the website yet.
And
But I
then
mean,
for those,
they already announced him.
yeah, isn't
Pontikin.
Echeverria coming already? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, apparently
Supposedly,
he's
yes.
reporting tomorrow, or he'll be
Oh,
tomorrow in Mexico or something like that.
Yeah,
can't imagine he'd
and
be ready for Saturday.
well,
No,
I
But
mean, from what I've heard, he's in top tier shape, and he's one of those gritty players like Perro. I forgot his last name. We just had him,
Romero,
Perro Romero. Like he's that kind of player, like gritty
I
player,
would. I mean, if he could be what Pedro Romero was, that's. I mean, that's what we're
maybe
looking
better,
for.
I
maybe
would love
better
that.
because they say he has speed, so he can run.
Okay, that
Yeah,
would be
Yeah,
so
no,
I'm
I'm
great.
not. I don't mean he wouldn't be ready in terms of being in game shape, but just the logistical things,
ah
getting his work visa, and getting registered and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, that makes sense. I'm really excited about this guy though, Echeverria.
Echeverria, Fonseca, también. I mean, we have good. It's just they all need to mesh well together. We need to see
Yeah,
some good stuff in the next
I think we got him for a
upcoming
2 year
games.
contract. 2 year contract. So for the next 2 years, we own his card. I don't know how much he
Echeverria.
cost. Yeah, Echeverria. I don't know how much he cost though. I think it was like the initial offer was like 2.5 million, and they rejected it. If you guys
Hmm.
remember, so they must have paid something just above that, maybe 3.5 million.
What
Good
is
on the Directiva for making counter offers and offers and continuing in the process when they really want somebody.
I'm like,
As
dude, where did all this money come from?
well, you know where it came from, Carlos. You're the one who reminded us about the extra funding we get for participating in the Club World Cup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get 30 million automatic just for participating in the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do we
And
get anything by making a round?
I didn't look that
I
far
would
into it.
assume so.
Yeah, probably, but I didn't look that far into it. Also, something that Paco Vela mentioned on his podcast, shout out to Paco Vela, was that Fox Deportes owed us like a massive amount of money, and I think they might have already paid us. So maybe that's where the money's coming from.
Interesting. Well, I think all in all, if it's good for the team and good, I mean, Club World Cup. I mean, who knows if we'll ever be in another Club World Cup, right? Who knows if we'll ever be in a scenario como este. So might as well splurge a bit, get a good
Yeah,
squad going, y a ver qué pasa. No perdemos
I
nada.
know. That's absolutely what we should be doing and what we have been doing now, but it just seemed like for so long they weren't going to go. They just weren't going to do it. It seemed like the priority was Oviedo, then the priority was Everton, and the priority was Pachuca, and the priority's never been Leon.
yeah,
Of the four teams that are in that entorno, like we've always been, and we're going to continue to be, despite the Club World Cup appearance. We were going to continue to be, you know, the little brother who only gets what's left over after those other teams have fed. And that's just not been the case. I mean, finally, what must the five Pachuca fans that exist, what must they be thinking right now, looking at our offseason compared to theirs? We're always looking at their offseason and like, why are you bringing in these high quality players for this club that nobody watches? you know, when you're leaving us out to dry. I mean, we're there too. You know, we're the team that if you that you know when things are going well for us, we become the talk of the town. Pachuca, even when they're winning things, like it just seems like nobody cares. So finally, we're getting our due. We're getting a good off season, a better off season than our hermanos, if you can even call them that.
Yeah. I mean, you can run a poll and ask like which fan base is more ardida, like Pachuca fan base because we got James, or the Junior fan base because they lost James.
Oh, it's Junior for sure. Like
Ju-
I
that.
don't think
That's
it's
just.
Pachuca. I don't think Pachuca should be on that poll though. To be
R-
fair,
really?
it should be any other Liga MX team, all the big,
Uh,
all the quote unquote big ones, because I know they are like mad. Uh,
Jealous?
I think they're jealous. I really do
Yeah.
think so.
Maybe not Rayados because they got what's his name?
Well,
Sergio Canales.
Canales. Well, that's what one of the players came out to
That's
say,
just.
like, "Oh, they have James, but we have Canales." I kind of
Yeah.
like, yes, give me a little shade,
Well,
well,
jealous
that's
that
not even.
vibes.
That's not even the most absurd that I saw. The most
What
absurd
did
I
you
saw
see?
was from Chivas, who obviously isn't even going to be in the market for James. They can't sign James, but they're like, well, but we got Alan Pulido, and I'm like, are you really comparing Alan Pulido to James? We
It's
got,
not a
you
good
know,
comparison at
when
all.
we get Alan Pulido, it's not a good signing, but when they get James, you know, they have the same age. They're both 33, and I'm like, yeah, that's where the similarities end. Yeah, they're both 33, but they're nowhere in the same stratosphere of player. Come on, give me a break here.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's not good.
it's not even close. It's not there. You
Yeah,
can't even compare.
No,
yeah.
can't even
Um,
compare.
the news about Eric Aguirre,
Oh
when it
yeah.
first came out, we were
His
excited. We were like, man,
laws.
this is a pretty big, like, maybe not as big as Jaime Rodriguez, but it was a pretty big bomba in my
Yeah,
opinion. Like to get a player of that quality to join our squad, and then he rejected it. He said, "Nah, I'll still take my chances at Rayados." He's not probably
He's
not
in
going to get
his
much playing time.
he's in his comfort zone. Some
yeah.
guys are just, you know, just happy being in their comfort zone. They don't really want to challenge. And I mean, he probably would have been a penciled in day one starter if he'd come here. And he's definitely not that in Monterrey. Whether he should be or not, that's another question, but he definitely probably will not be. And maybe he's comfortable with that. I don't know. You know, maybe he's comfortable just making his money and getting spot minutes here and there. Some guys that's all they want.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, Louis is right. That's how some players. That's how they think, and that's fine. At the end of the day, it's his loss. He se pierde del vestidor que tiene León at this moment. So
I wonder what he's thinking now, because that was before the whole James thing.
Yeah.
Now
yeah,
now we've got James. Would he have changed his tune? I don't know.
I wonder
It's
what
too
Fidel
late now.
Ambris is
You
thinking.
already said no. We don't want you anymore.
I wonder what Fidel Ambris is thinking.
who? I forgot about him. Who, Carlos?
He's just been sitting on the bench, huh?
He has not been
Oh,
good. He's not been good for Monterrey.
Yeah.
Which, whoa, who'd have predicted that? Oh wait, all of us.
oh wait, all of us did.
Es un masterclass del Prezi.
Yes, Sasboy said it's the bigger Liga MX teams that are mad. Yeah, they are. Yes, they
Yeah.
are. El Presi put all those Leon via in their place. Everyone's hot back on the train.
For real. There were so many people who were mad, like, yeah, this team, like, we're not gonna, you know. And there was a time where we were chatting with El Presi on a private Twitter chat, and he said, "Oh, tengan paciencia, like we're gonna vamos a armar un equipo," and everyone's like, "Nah, he's just like, he's lying. Like they've been saying that for the last couple of years, and now those same people are like, oh, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I
Apologizing.
apologize. Los firabonos están vendiendo like they're almost all gone, right? Like 70, 75%, they're all gone.
I didn't see that.
I
Somebody
think the only
posted
ones
like,
that are like available are the Las Porterias.
yeah,
Everything
yeah,
else
behind,
is like
yeah,
gone. Which I'm
everything else is
like,
gone.
I know. Well, I'm like, that's why I told you on the chat. I'm like, am I going to be able to get tickets in the next couple of weeks if I want to go see go see Leon? Because everybody's just like buying abonos. I mean, I would if I lived in Leon, like in Leon, because it's it's just easier. I mean, I'd buy a Fiat abono like the most expensive one because it have nothing to do with the ones here in Torreon was they cost like 8 to 10,000 for the most expensive ones. Like it's
We do
ridiculous.
have, even with this bomb of a signing, bomba of a signing, we still have some of the most affordable abonos in all of Liga MX, most affordable tickets in
They
general.
really are.
I can't, I just don't get it when people complain about that,
Yeah.
about the ticket prices in Leon. We have some of the most affordable ticket prices. I think the only ones that are consistently more affordable are Pachuca.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Super cheap. I mean,
I mean, they're charging like twice or three times as much to go see Necaxa in the
Yeah.
Aguascalientes, and they're charging to see us. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
why
no. I
is
mean,
that though? Why is that? Is that like why how does that happen? Like they don't
I
have.
don't I don't know. I can't explain it. Somewhere like there doesn't make any sense. It makes sense in Juarez. It makes sense in Tijuana, where a lot of the fan base comes from the U.S. and is paying in dollars.
Yeah.
But for a club like like Necaxa, which has never even felt much of an identification with the city in which they play,
yeah.
it makes no sense. But that's the situation.
Speaking of Necaxa, they signed Larcamon.
They did sign Larcamon. I'm looking forward to going in there and beating him 5-0.
And they got Jefecito as well.
And they got Jefecito. Damn.
So what's up with Sauce Boy? What's up with you? He says I'm still iffy about the team. James signing doesn't convince me. Give me
Oh
give me
my
some more
goodness.
reasoning. Come on.
Sauce Boy's always tripping.
We need to have an intervention. No, let I mean tell us in the comments what are you thinking? What's going on through your head?
Never seen anybody in KC wearing a Pulido jersey.
No, that was a. I mean, he was there for like 3 years, but that was a flop of a signing all around.
What was he there when we played them and we beat them like
He
6-1?
was not yet there when we played them, and no, he wasn't involved in that.
Oh, okay.
He says can't type it all.
I can't type it
Just
all.
give me some bullet points. Like summarize it. Bullet
Yeah,
points.
yeah, I want to hear this because like it's been a while since I've been this optimistic about the team, and I'm usually very pessimistic, especially with the signings that we've made recently,
Yeah.
like Edgar Guerra, Alan Medina,
I think it's understandable, especially
Napoli.
what you said about people being frustrated because you always have an expectation, and then you get the sign, you're like, so it's like kind of ongoing until you actually get to this point that we are now, and it's like it's just looking on the bright side
No,
of
I can I could totally understand being skeptical,
yeah,
because aside from our moment of brilliance where we won the 2023 Conca Champions, which is coming up on the 2-year anniversary of that already. But aside from that moment of absolute brilliance, the rest of our of our performances in the last few years have been wholeheartedly unconvincing. So I can understand being skeptical. Yeah, uh, they got to show us something. It's like I said at the beginning of the show: the names on the jerseys don't win you anything. You have to go out and show it. But in order to go out and show something, you have to put the pieces in place. At the very least, they've done that, and they're still doing it. They're putting the pieces in place to have success. Now, I can understand being skeptical about them just going out and doing it because that's what's supposed to happen. It doesn't work like that. I mean, they're going to have to go out and take. It's not going to be given to them. They're going to have to go out and take it. But the pieces are in place, and I think that's very much being, while remaining some semblance of skepticism, some level of skepticism. It's something to be very excited about.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we're not Monterrey, we're not Tigres, where like they spend millions and millions of dollars on like big name stars and never win anything.
yeah,
Like we're Leon. Like we buy, okay, once in a while we get a bomba, but like we buy average players that are like trying to prove something, trying to get that second. No, like serious, like all
oh
the
no, no,
players that
sorry, I'm
we've
not
bought
laughing at
this.
you, I'm laughing
Oh,
at a message in the
yeah,
chat.
like I mean, think about it. Like we had Mena, we had
Hmm.
Macias, we had Campbell. Like all these players had something to prove when they came
Yeah.
here, and James is literally the exact definition of something to prove
Hmm.
because everybody's counting him out. Everybody's like, nah, club level, he's not good. Like, nah, más bien a robar. All right, we'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
And
Yeah.
if that happens, well, we'll come and be like, you know what? It is what it is. I mean, no podemos tapar nada at this point.
But I'll have my James jersey no matter what.
Look, I'm looking to
I
get
gotta
one
get
too. Yeah.
especially the Club World
Um,
Cup one.
Angel, that's why I was laughing. Pulido was there in the 6-1. I booed him during his warm up.
But he didn't play in that. I don't think he played in that match.
I don't think any of their starters played. Didn't they play
Yeah,
like
they
the
didn't play
third
any
string?
starters in that match.
Yeah, they didn't really seem
The,
to care about it.
yeah.
Arturo
And
Ruiz,
then,
what did he
yeah,
say?
go ahead.
Oh, I asked this question on Twitter to the group on Twitter. I said, "Who's going to be backup for James? Like, we're deep on every other spot, but we don't have a backup for James. What happens when he has to come out?"
Well, hopefully we'll be winning 4-0 every time that happens. So,
That's
so
the
it won't
After,
be
solution.
after a
won't
couple
be
of
too much of an issue.
lefty
Yeah.
golazos here and
Like,
there.
who else can play 10?
I think it'll be interesting to see what Berizzo thinks if he's gonna build this team around James.
You know, I have a theory on like why Cabral and Diego Hernandez left because they could have both played number 10. Realistically speaking, they could have both played number 10. So my theory is that once they knew that James was a real possibility, they communicated to these two guys, "Hey, you're gonna be coming off the bench now because we're getting a real number 10.
Hmm.
That's gonna be your new role." And they both split because they don't want to come off the bench. They don't want their minutes to go from being starters to only getting garbage minutes.
It's understandable, but
It's an understandable theory. Yeah.
you have the Club World Cup and you have the opportunity to compartir vestidor as well. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
try and stick around until after también?
yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird that they both left for personal reasons.
Well, I think Cabral's. When I saw that, I was like, I think Louis had sent a message, and I'm like, you know what? I understand that Cabral it sucks, but I mean, mentally, we were all counting him out for the Club World Cup anyways because he can't travel, right? So it's just like
Right.
he was just gonna play during the season, yeah. So we still had to find a replacement, a good replacement in that position for Club World Cup. Lo de Diego Hernandez to me was really random, and that's why I messaged y'all like, look, I don't want to, I hope I'm wrong, but obviously he had a reputation of being this very party guy. ¿Qué pasa si se metió en
Yeah.
algún problema con eso? And he has to go take care of it. Maybe he's gonna. I hope maybe I'm wrong, but I'm like I don't want him to come out on the news going to court for something that happened.
Getting pulled over for a DUI like Gullit
Like Guerra,
Yeah.
like Guerra.
and Guerra. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, in his like last interview, I think he did it with Paco Montes. He said that it was Berizzo who asked for him to leave.
Yeah.
So
Because
it was the coach.
he said like he always said how much he loved being there and how much he wanted to stay there, and he also the way his como escribió su despedida was kind of like I'll be back in a way.
Hmm.
So it's
Hey,
like I don't know. To me, that's like a really like I have a really big question mark on what happened there with Diego
Wait,
well,
Hernandez.
has he gone back to Botafogo or did he sign with another club or what do we know
se
about
fue
him?
I
con
didn't see any
Everton.
signing. He just said he needed to go back
Se
to
fue, I think he went back. He went to Everton.
see. A ver.
Everton.
Yeah, so yeah.
He's
I think he
still
went
he's
back to
still in the
Everton.
grupo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we ever made his. I don't think we ever exercised his buy clause, right? Because he
I
was
thought
on
we.
loan. He was on loan from Botafogo for like a year, I think. So I think he has
See,
6 more months, and he's gonna go spend them at Everton.
so, I mean, he's en his goodbye said agradecer a este club y a la afición por el apoyo constante. Hoy me toca irme, pero en el convencimiento de que voy a volver a estar con ustedes. Hoy le hago caso al corazón y no tengo cómo perder. Agradecido con cada uno de ustedes. Ser fiel es un orgullo. That's the mixed message. I'm like, what does this mean?
He's not coming
Especially
back.
like, pero con el convencimiento de que voy a volver a estar con ustedes.
He's not coming
That's
back
what hit me. I'm like,
because Chapito
It
Montes said
does
the same
it
thing.
it is worded a little strangely, but I don't know. I'm with Carlos. I can't imagine him coming back.
Yeah, Chapito Montes said the same thing. He said, "I'm coming back," and he said it to like the reporters, like, "I'm coming back, guys," and he never came back.
we have trust
I,
issues now because of Chapito.
I really wanted him to come back though. I was like the only person that said like, yeah, I wish he would come back to have like a
he still could. They could sign him to be James's backup.
Good one, Louis.
Not a bad
um,
idea.
Angel said, "I've lived in KC for 17 years. Literally, have never went to their stadium until Leon came. The definition of mediocrity in sporting Kansas City."
Wow, that's quite a harsh statement.
I should have. You know what I need, Carlos? I need to get the hot take on this platform. I need to bring it back.
Oh yeah,
I need to bring it back.
yeah. We should do a new
Um,
clip though.
yeah. Everyone's
Everyone.
watching the Chiefs, but
That is no lies detected.
Susboy said, "This is what I'm saying, though. How silly can this look if James signing doesn't go as planned, and if he, like he has to the last five club he's been with, we're in a deeper hole we've been in." And then he says, "Then we're
Mm,
gonna be rushing, begging back from Everton." Oh, and of course to Diego. Um, I mean, I think this is the thing. They only sign James for 1 year.
it's 1 year. It's a 1 year contract.
It's a 1 year. That's the smartest thing a club can do, especially with these type of players, right? Some of these clubs tend to want to sign big stars. I mean, that's what we're seeing with Grasud, with Luca, this youngster who signed him for 5 years, which is ridiculous. That's a whole other situation. But for un jugador como James and kind of how he is, I think it's smart that the club is only signing him for a year.
Yeah.
And then after that, kind of see what happens. And everything's we every time you sign a player, it's a risk. It is what it is. I just want to I want to believe just you try and think positively and the best thing that you can get out of these players. Y no sé, o sea, yo le veo algo como que diferente, him coming here
Tiene
and
sed de revancha.
that's what I think.
Yeah, because like every other team he's been on, they don't play for him. This team right now, que estamos armando, they want to play for him
Yeah,
because we haven't really had a true number 10 since Chapito Montes.
yeah,
And we know that the number 10, I mean, Louis said it in the beginning of the program. He said Liga MX is embracing the number 10 again.
While most other leagues are moving away from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, like, use that to your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think we can build our estilo and our scheme around him the way Colombia does. I mean, there's a reason he does so well with Colombia. They build around him. They play to his strengths. And I mean, Berizzo's not just going to give him free reign to do whatever he wants. But I mean, if Berizzo's smart, I mean, you have this player who's a generational talent. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot. But when it comes to James, he's a generational talent, maybe the best player in the history of his country. Like,
yeah.
Berizzo's not stupid. Like, if the best way to win is to build around his strengths, then that's what he's going to do.
Now the thing with that is that because how he plays, you need someone behind him that's very hardworking because Hamid's not going to do all the hard work. So
That's Echeverria.
in that position, who do we have? Fonseca. He could be his hardworking man behind running
Guardado.
the.
And Andres Guardado.
Pero
Guardado.
en la defensiva, how quick and stuff. I mean, I would think you would need to go with someone like Fonseca
We haven't even
to
mentioned
do his dirty work,
Adonis.
to do James' dirty work. So that way James can kind of free range and do what
We
he
haven't
wants.
even mentioned Adonis, the heart and soul of this club.
Adonis. See, Sauce Boy said Fonseca can do that.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what I think. But again, we will see. I think it'll
we're
take a couple of
loaded.
games to kind
We're
of see,
loaded in the midfield.
especially like it sucks that we can't initially see the Speedy Mendoza like on the start, right? So it's like
Yeah.
okay, seeing right now como está, y luego adding Mendoza, how does that change things? Because I really
Yeah.
like Mendoza.
Me
Just
too.
I
gives
do
me a
too. I
good
wish he wasn't
vibe.
suspended for the first 4 matches.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
me
really,
too.
I mean, we haven't really talked about what our expectations are for the season. I mean, maybe we're already getting
Go
close to an
ahead.
hour. Maybe that's another episode. I don't know.
No, go
But
ahead.
Let's do it now.
I would love to see this club get off to a fast start. I mean, I mentioned this in our group chat, but like I'm sick and tired of these slow starts, playing, por debajo of our potential, and not, finally around jornada 9 or 10 we figure it out, but by that point we're in such a hole. There was such little margin for error down the stretch if we want to make Liguilla, and we're always comes down to the last day of the season, and we're not controlling our own destiny. We're depending on other teams' results, and of course, getting needing to win on the last day of the season and depending on other results just to squeak into the last spots. Whether we win a title this season or not, maybe we're building a team that can win a title, but whether we do or not, can we just please make Liga Directa? Can we not be in a position where we're needing other teams to lose so we can get 10th place and jornada 17? That is not, if with all of the roster rebuild that they've just done, if that's the position we're still in the last match of the season, that would be a huge disappointment. I think we're building a roster that can aspire to things much greater than that. Time will tell, but
Yeah.
minimum, can we please just make it into the top 6? This is a team that should be making it into the top 6 without much issue, if
I
I'm being
agree.
honest.
Especially
I think we
looking
will.
ahead of Club World Cup, and if we have a really good season, then we look pretty good going into the summer. Versus, oh, what if we have that? What Louis said of a season? Well, es
Nah.
que no se espera
I,
el
I think the
verano.
expectations are just way too high, especially con la llegada de James. Like that right there already sets the bar 10 times higher than what it already was. Like you go from, okay, if you take James out of the equation, you go from, okay, a team, you have nuevos refuerzos, like, okay, now you can aspire to make the play in. Now you bring in James, it's like, hey, this is not playing anymore. Now we're expected to make
Mm-hmm.
Liguilla Directa, and that's what the expectation is for me and for a lot of other fans, I'm sure.
Make Liga
Make
directo.
Liguilla Directa. What
And
first, it's first 6, right?
first 6.
First 6, yeah. So I'm gonna predict we're somewhere 3 to 6. I don't think we're good enough to be 1 or 2 or maybe
And I
3.
think it will. I think that we do have an advantage in a way. I mean, in thinking because there was eight new coaches in this Liga Meki season, right? So those coaches,
Mm,
obviously, no, differente plantel, differente equipo. Others are coming new to the league, so it's kind of like against those teams. I mean, we should be able, like, we need to be able to beat Querétaro. I mean, Querétaro was trash
yeah,
against America's sub-23. Like, we need to like thrash Querétaro. Like, there's no like excuses for that.
yeah. Good
It
start to
starts
You're
to.
don't mean
absolutely
anything.
right. You're
It
absolutely
is.
right, Arturo. I'll just say this though. Um, Being the team that's playing the best ball at the end of the season and still falling short a couple of points of Liguilla does nobody any good. So what I'm saying is bank some points at the beginning of the season so you're not depending on anyone other than yourself to make it at the end. That's all I'm saying. You're right though. You're right that having a strong start does not always lead to good things in Liguilla. But I mean, we were one of the hottest teams, the teams that nobody was going to want to play in Liguilla if we made it at the end of last
Yep.
season, and then we didn't make it. So what good did it do? It did no
Yeah.
good.
I think we should beat the teams we're supposed to beat. The
Yeah.
Querétaros, the Atlas, the Pueblas, the Mazatlans.
Yeah.
Don't be like last season where like those were the teams we needed to beat and we didn't beat them, and that's
Yeah.
why we didn't make Liguilla. So just
Yeah.
beat the teams we're supposed to beat, and then when we play these Cruz Azuls, Tigres, Monterrey, like these teams, maybe it's a toss up, maybe it can go either way, but like just take care of business when you're supposed to.
So I think looking at the schedule, obviously we have Atlas, then we have Juarez, then we have Chivas, Mazatlan. Obviously we have to play our Jornada Uno against Pachuca, the Toluca.
That's actually
Um,
not a bad start. Like if we can rack
it's a
up a
bit
few
all over
good
the
points,
place.
I mean, I think Atlas is winnable. Juarez is winnable.
Hmm.
Chivas might be a bit of
A
a challenge.
draw. Oh yeah.
Mazatlan's winnable. Pachuca's winnable.
Hmm.
Toluca, that's our first big test right there. And by then we should have everyone playing. So that's like the first real litmus test of the season. It's like where is this team at?
I think that, yeah. I mean, if we're able to get like Atlas, Juarez, and Chivas and Mazatlan in those four games,
I think we'll be all right.
even if we win three out of those four, estamos bien.
Yeah.
It's a good start. Sauce Boy said if we can make Ligia, I'll be satisfied. All I ask is two things: make Ligia and beat Tigres. That's all.
Why Tigres?
We don't like Tigres, remember?
We don't like Tigres.
I mean, there's a lot of teams I don't like.
I know.
Well, I don't.
Why?
As a Club Leon fan, I don't like America and I don't like Tigres.
I don't like Chivas either, or Cruz
I don't
Azul,
like Chivas.
Pumas, or Cholos, or Mazatlan.
Okay, pick three, Carlos. Pick three.
Top three that I hate.
As a Club Leon fan that you don't in Liga MX team that you don't like.
I mean, obviously America is up there.
Mm,
Chivas is up there for me too.
one more.
And I'm gonna go Tijuana. You can't lose to Tijuana. Those three right there.
Louis.
Especially not at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be boring. I'll go America, Chivas, and Tigres. Yeah.
I'll go
Tigres, okay.
America Tigres. What's another team that I'm like, I despise
Cruz Azul.
facing? No, I
Pumas?
think Cruz is kind of boring. No, not Pumas.
No.
I mean, my dad goes for Pumas, so I can't.
Puebla, Toluca.
But see, Puebla to me is kind of like meh. Like they're just like the filler team in Liga MX at this
Monterrey.
point. You know what? I need to come back to you. 'Cause, I mean, I have a top two. I have a top two, and it's America and Tigres. Like a
Say
top two. That's my
Chivas.
top
Say
two.
Chivas.
I can't. I I know you guys have that, hatred, passion. I just don't.
Probably Atlas, no?
Yes, actually, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, I mean, maybe it's Atlas or Santos at this point.
Yeah.
Santos.
For Sauce Boy, it's Tigres, America, and Tijuana.
Irapuato
Irapuato.
doesn't even exist.
Angel, America, Chivas, y Atlas. Okay.
Okay,
At least we can all agree on like America.
America.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Eagle Eye podcast, who are my best friends. Anything else, guys, that you want to talk about?
Do we
I
have
think that's
predictions?
Oh, we didn't do prediction time yet. Yeah, let's briefly talk about this opening match against Atlas and do prediction time. No.
We don't have a
Yeah.
video, do we?
So no, I mean we
Yeah.
need an updated Louis video.
Yeah, it's okay.
Prediction
Yeah.
time.
Well,
When I get back to my cave, I'll come up with something.
Cool. So Atlas they face Cruz Azul, no, in the first jornada.
yeah. Did they
Yeah, it was a
lose?
1-1
Did they
draw.
lose?
Oh,
Oh, they
It was a
drew.
1-1 draw. Mhm.
Okay. So they have new coach Gonzalo Pineda. So we'll see how
who
Pineda
was
does.
rumored to come to Leon actually.
I think Pineda was a good. I think he was on maybe a lot of Liga MX teams' radar just because of what he did at MLS and obviously as a Liga MX club giving a Mexican director técnico an opportunity. So
Too
I'm
many,
excited to see what he does.
too many Seattle Sounders connections. No thanks.
Well, that. So yeah, so Atlas drew. So obviously they would be happy with a win, but obviously we want to get a win. So Louis, you're making a trip out there, no?
Yeah, I'm still in Oregon right now, but I'm leaving tomorrow directly for Guadalajara, directly Portland PDX Guadalajara direct flight, and I'll be
Nice.
there for the match on Saturday, 7 p.m. local time, or is it 9 p.m.? I don't remember,
9 p.m.
but 9 p.m. local time. I will absolutely be there. Wouldn't miss it. And I know people are saying, no, we want Hummus to not debut so that he can debut in front of the home fans. I'm like,
That's what I want.
bro, like Berizzo's going to be like, if this dude's been training and this dude's ready to play and he can help us win today, then he's going to play today. And that's
I
what I'm
mean, he's
hoping to see.
registered, but we'll see if he
Yeah.
actually makes the trip.
Um,
I mean, this guy
I-
just got here. We don't know what's his housing situation and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So maybe he won't make the trip. I mean, we
We'll
won't know
see.
until tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
they were talking about how much they have to ramp up security now. Like
Mm.
for a player of his caliber, like there's going to be crazy security everywhere they go. Like the team bus, obviously the stadiums, like everything. Security is going to be super ramped up. Um,
I can imagine.
But I want to see more than James. I want to see Guardado play because
Yeah.
that's it's su cuna, like that's where he came
Hmm.
from. So I want to see like if the fans will do anything, or if they'll like boo him, or like I want to see how they'll react.
I think he played. Well, I don't remember if he played
He
about
didn't
a
play
year
last
ago or
time.
whenever it was that we went there.
No, he didn't play. I think he was injured.
Yeah, I remember that
Oh,
match.
okay.
It was a last minute. They get a last minute. Edgar Guerra in his first game for Leon drew a
First
PK.
game.
He
Yeah.
drew a PK, which Viñas nailed last minute. We won the game 1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What would it see if we still had Viñas going into Club World Cup? I
It,
yeah.
he,
guess.
I, it could
Imagine.
be a possibility. It's a possibility because there's a small transfer window right before Club World Cup for all of the teams who are playing in the Club World Cup. So if he's ready, we might bring him.
Hmm.
We might bring him on board.
Imagine adding him to this mix. My word.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, but
it's gonna be fun.
Going to
It's
be
gonna be fun.
fun.
I hope it's a great season for us.
so we don't have the prediction time video,
No, we don't.
Yeah,
but but
you can just toss him out.
should
Yeah,
we
go
just
ahead,
toss him out?
Louis. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you want to be like, it's prediction time? You can do it.
it's prediction time. um, so it's hard to know exactly what it's going to be like to who's going to suit up and all that kind of stuff. But I never have much faith in Atlas. Obviously they had their Liga MX assisted magical run over the 21 and 22 seasons that made them relevant for that brief period of time. But now they're back to being nothing again,
Yeah.
where they belong. And I don't know what kind of refuerzos they brought in. I'm not really up on their off season, but I never have too much faith in them. And no matter who plays, I think the vibes are really good in Leon right now. And I think Berizzo really had the guys playing very well towards the end of last season, when he finally got into a little groove. And I think no matter who suits up, I think we should go into this match considering ourselves the favorites, being considered the favorites. And I don't know. I think it could be I think it could be a 3-1. I think we're going to do pretty well. I think we're going to go out there and make a statement, whether Hamas plays or not. I think we're going to go out there and make a statement and get out of there with a 3-1 win. That's what I'd like to see, and that's what I think is going to happen.
3-1.
Ooh,
Carlos, agree,
wow.
disagree?
3-1. I mean, I think we'll win. I don't know if the margin of victory is going to be that big. I think we can get out of there with a 2-0 win. That's that's pretty much the same margin of victory.
It's the same margin, but a 3-1 feels different than a 2-0.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think
has a
2-0.
different
I
feeling.
think we'll score early, and then Atlas is going to push up, trying to get one back, and then we'll get him on a counter. I think Edgar Guerra, just because he drew that penalty for us last time, I think he'll get one.
Okay.
Let's
So in
reward
the
him.
chat, I
Well, but I
see.
think no, Guerra's not going to play. Guerra's suspended.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, he's also
Yeah.
suspended.
Yeah.
So
Arturo said two
what's the
one
starting
Leon
lineup?
wins.
I imagine Rigoni will play.
Rioni,
Rigoni.
after 7 months of not playing.
Yeah.
Might as well get him in somehow.
Uh,
I'm trying to look for the.
Guardado.
does Guardado play?
Yeah.
I think Fierro is going to play because he's match ready. Obviously, Adonis is going to play because he's match ready.
Barreiro.
Barreiro,
Chava.
Barreiro.
Chava, Belon. Shouts to Omar from the chat. Omar. Um, who else? Moreno or Sebastian Santos?
I bet Santos will
For me,
play,
it's Moreno.
Oh,
but I
sorry.
think Moreno will play. Moreno will play at right back, but I bet
Yeah.
Santos will play in there somewhere.
I'm seeing a picture of Maluma with a Club Leon cap.
Awesome.
I love it.
um,
I love it. I love it. I love Maluma. So it just
I
means
think
the world.
we might play Avion. Or no,
Avion,
Avion's
no,
with La
no.
Selección.
He started today with a selection, so count him out.
Cisneros, but then I would say Cisneros. And man, we're so short-handed. How are we gonna win? Cadiz starts.
I
No,
think
Cadiz
Cadiz.
isn't he injured?
No, see?
Uh, chat is Cadiz injured? The last I heard, I thought he was injured.
No, I think he should be ready to go.
Should be ready to go.
He got
Okay.
injured a while back, but I
Otherwise,
think he should be ready to go.
otherwise we're gonna have to call up Ayon.
Yeah, I mean, I
Wasn't
think
Ayon injured or
Ion
is he good?
he was, but I think he's good now, and I would really love to see something from him this season. If especially if we're not going to get Lucas Martinez Dupuy, I would love to see Edson Ion make a jump.
Yeah,
Um, so Arturo had
2-0.
said 2-1 Leon. Sauceboy said 1-0. Leon kind of boring, but getting the job done.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Arturo. I'm gonna say 2-1. Leon wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting some goals, and if we even if we win 1-0, I just want to see a good team hustle out there.
Are we okay with a draw as our
Mm,
first match already?
depends
Depends how
depends
we
on how it
play.
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hmm. Interesting. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
that's what I think.
it feels good that for once in I don't know how long we actually have refuerzos before we start the season.
and for once, I don't remember how long. It's actually fun to talk about this team again.
Yeah, got pretty boring last season. Pretty
not
depressing.
not boring, just depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was very dark. We had some dark days
yeah,
on the pod. We can say
yeah.
En
that.
las buenas y en las malas.
And las buenas
Yeah.
y las malas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we need to change the intro song with some like reggaeton or something. This season, just kind
It's gonna be
of.
a good season. It's gonna be a good season.
Cowboy fans think alike, Eddie. I'm mad at my Cowboys, but you're right. Stupid Cowboys. I think that's it, guys. Right?
That's
We
it.
good?
Yeah,
Awesome.
we're
Well,
good.
hopefully everybody in the chat enjoyed the pod today. Shout out to Arturo, Sauce Boy, always coming through. Angel, keep a very it was a very live chat. Such good conversation, good comments. As always, we always enjoy you guys.
Yeah.
It just makes it more fun, engaging with all the fans and uh as we are also Club Leon fans. So it's always good to have a good session like this. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, a ver qué pasa con Leon. Louis will be there, so we'll definitely get some input of how that game went. And who knows? I mean, maybe we'll see a Hamas debut, or maybe we won't. We'll see. But if not, we'll definitely look ahead of the match after that.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so
Awesome.
much. And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of the Lions Den Podcast.
Alrighty.